Hello everyone. Thanks for joining my channel, RP Guru Tech Talk. This is Renu Prasad. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to watch more fun videos and also get updated when new videos are uploaded in my channel. Thank you so much. I'm going to take the help of ChatGPT to help me with some sample records for some standard objects of Salesforce. So the first question I'm asking it is, please create example records for account object in Salesforce. So now what it does, it knows the structure already. It knows what kind of fields are there in the account object. So it starts generating uh, the sample data for me. So now I want to ask it a little more, like I'm just regenerating just in case. I wanted to give a little more specific question. So I'm going to say, can you please create a sample example records in CSV format, rather than asking it again. So I've asked that. Now it starts generating the CSV file. If you see, it'll also know the API names for the fields it's generating the sample data for. So you can see now, let's look at the CSV format. So it knows the correct API names and field names, stuff like that. So in case of standard objects, it has some knowledge about the standard object structures. So now it's created a couple of sample records for account object. My next question would be, please create a sample records for the contact object. So in this case, it starts generating the CSV format. Again, as I said, ChatGPT has some knowledge about the structure of standard objects in Salesforce. So it doesn't ask me to give any specific field names and stuff like that. It automatically starts generating the data required for the contact object now. So it's created sample data for me for the contact object. The next question I'm going to ask is, please create sample data for the leads object. So let's see what it does. Now I'm going to say, ask for the leads object now. And also, if you see, it's giving me instructions on how I need to load the accounts and the contacts, because they have to be related. I need to make sure the contact has the right relationship with the account. So now it's creating the leads sample data. So it again, as leads is a standard object, and ChatGPT knows the structure. So it's giving me some sample data for that. In all these three objects, I've asked it to generate CSV file for that. So I have all the three objects sample data in CSV format. I'm going to copy them and put them in a notepad first, because it's easier to save it as a notepad file. From this notepad file, I'm going to save it as a .csv file, and that way when I open it in Excel, it's already in the right format. So if you see, I say save as, and I put double quotes and give counts.csv, so that it doesn't add.txt at the end. So it saved the CSV file for accounts. I do the same thing for contacts and leads. One thing you need to remember is, Salesforce, any sandbox or any test environment of Salesforce, it already has some sample data for these custom objects when you create a new sandbox, or you create a new trailhead playground. So before you load the data, just make sure the sample data generated by ChatGPT doesn't already exist in Salesforce. Otherwise, the import will create all duplicate records for you, and it gets messed up. So just double check if it's creating some sample data which is already there. Just change those records to be something new, so that when you load it, it's going to load brand new records which are not a conflict with the existing data in the sandbox or the trailhead playground. So now I can import this data. I can click on the accounts tab in the sales app and all accounts, and then I can say import.
So import opens, it actually opens the import wizard. So this is one way of going to the importing of data. The other way, I will show then the other way. So now I'm going to import the accounts data from the CSV file I just created, which ChatGPT helped me create a template for and gave me some sample data. As you see, I've not double checked to make sure the sample data created by ChatGPT does not exist. So there is potential that this data, which I'm trying to load into this sandbox or trailhead playground, already exists, and there'll be conflicts. So just be aware of that. And it says Acme Corporation and stuff like that. So those I believe they exist in Salesforce. So it'll create duplicates for me. So I'm not going to show you why it did that. But again, just remember that when you ask ChatGPT to give you some sample records for any of the standard objects which you want data for. So now I mapped all the, it's already mapped the fields for me. So as I said, ChatGPT knows the um, field mapping. So I didn't have to remap everything. So now it's running the accounts load in the background. Now let's go back to sales. And now I'm going to go to the contacts. Um, Now I see I'm going to accounts, but as I said, my all my accounts will have duplicates now. If you see, there are some duplicates of what I loaded and what exists already. So let's not go into those details, but just remember that when you ask ChatGPT to give you some sample data for your standard objects. Now I'm going to contacts and doing the same import process. I'm going to click on import. In the next sample of leads, I will show you how you go directly to this import wizard rather than going to the tab of that particular object. So I'm going to click on account and contacts, add new records. So I don't have to do all that. So I just go drag the CSV file. I can give those details, but again, it's not relevant for my load here because I'm loading brand new records. So, but I need to make sure that the account name is associated with the contact I'm going to load, because otherwise the import will not know which account this contact has to be tied with. So now I'm going to drag the contact CSV file given by ChatGPT to me. So I'm going to load this contacts file and now hit next. So one of the mapping, all the mappings were there except for one. I'm going to change that. And also there are a couple of fields it mapped with double mapped. I'm going to delete the ones that are not relevant. So, and then I map the account, matching the account name. So hit next. So all the fields are mapped. I say import. Again, the job runs in the background. So now go to the setup, and here I'm going to type in import rather than going to, it's not going to the actual object tab and trying to do it. So I'm going to say leads, add new records, drag my leads sample data CSV file and drag it into the space where it says drag and hit next. You see all the fields are already mapped, so there's no need to remap anything. So that's the best part of some of the standard objects sample data. Hope this helps. Thanks. Bye.